What's up guys, it's AZ Wallbreaker here and you are watching my channel Wallbreakers, here to inspire you to be epic, be legendary. Today I'm going to talk more about Estonian in my series Becoming One with the Nation. If you like this, please consider hitting like, subscribe, and share this story. The first topic I'm going to cover today is what I learned this week in Estonian. I've been trying to work on speaking the language and trying to learn some basic phrases so when I go to Estonia I can try to speak the language. So this week I learned the pronouns and I'm going to compare them to English in the language that I know. So the pronouns that I learned this week was ma for I, sa for you, that's the single or familiar you, te, which is the polite or plural you, ta for he, she, me for we, and nad for they. Alright, comparing this to English, my mother language, I think it's very interesting. I like the way it's structured. It's easy to remember, one, and two, I like how, some of the wording doesn't differentiate from sex as it's understood as such. So the pronouns ta and nad, for instance, they cover everybody. In Estonian, like English, like I could say they, and it covers everybody. It doesn't matter what kind of grouping it is. Nad covers all that, and I think that's really awesome, and which makes the language easier to take in my opinion. I don't know what other people think, but the fact that I can use nad and it covers everything makes it easier to remember. That's just one word I gotta remember if I want to say they. And I like it. They even take it to a step further. Estonians take it to a step further where they just use ta, unlike English where we have to say he or she to describe a person. But they use ta to be he or she. It doesn't matter. It's understood that you're talking about a single person regardless of their gender, which I think is very awesome. Alright, the second topic I want to cover, and this is a very important topic that I wanted to cover for my last video on Estonia, because I got a lot of awesome feedback from people, a lot of great information. I want to know how Estonia became Estonia. To figure out how Estonia became the Silicon Valley of Europe, I had to do some research this week. It might not have been as detailed as I would like it to have been, but I learned a lot about it, especially since technology is so important for that country. Is their lifeblood. It's Estonia's lifeblood to have technology for their citizens, for their infrastructures, to conduct business internationally. At one point, Estonia was once under the Soviet Union. At that time, the Soviets walked in and just took over certain countries up until about Germany. This was after World War II. So the country fell into communism. I can only imagine how limited communism would be. I've never lived under it, but I did think it would be a very challenging days from what I've seen from other places such as North Korea and Cuba. But limited communism was limited you from doing stuff, especially with the Soviets being in competition with the rest of the world, such as my country, the United States. They were fearful of having spies from all over the world try to infiltrate them, try to destabilize them. So it was very hard to get information and get knowledge because it was such a limited resource. And that held back the Estonians for a long time under that period. Move fast forward to the early 90s when the Great Wall fell for the Soviets, the end of communism in Russia, and countries took full advantage of this. In 1991, Estonia took the opportunity to declare itself an independent nation. Once they got independent, the population, which is very small, which I think today is about 1.4 million, give or take. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I found it very interesting that they just got their freedom and they was trying to figure out how can we stand out in the world? Can we get people to become interested in our world? Because I can only imagine that after being under communism for so long and being limited to what you had access to, that the people at that time was desperate to open their doors to capitalist countries to do business with them, to help them grow and recover and be better. So what I learned is that the country took steps to use technology. Technology plays a major role. The company that I learned was called Tiger Leap, which was a company that put computers in just about every school in Estonia. This would be the seeds of Estonia's success as kids at very young age learned about computers, learned about technology, learned how to use computers. Even though Estonia at that time was way behind many Western countries in terms of technology use, as they just had dial-up lines until 1997. Again, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But they were so far behind that they had to use catch-up, and they used their younger generation as the basis to help Estonia become what it is today. Those people are leading the way today in making Estonia the biggest technological friendly place in the world. Technology is infused in just about every single Estonian's life. I mean, you can vote online, you can do taxes online, heck, you could update your records online. They no longer use paper to document people's health conditions. It's all online, which is easier for the doctor to be able to pull up and see their history, which makes their job easier, saves tons of money, and saves the environment. And now, technology meant freedom. Now, I'm going to compare Estonia's technological boom in comparison to how my country uses the U.S. Constitution. In my opinion, the U.S. Constitution is the greatest document in the world. It guarantees rights for my fellow countrymen, the right to free speech, the right to bear arms, the right to vote, the right to have a due process. It guarantees basic human rights that allows Americans to live a lifestyle that they want to. So I imagine that Estonians view technology as such, as they got the right to express their freedom, their views and their ideas, the right to be able to watch each other. Now there are some concerns with their technology, how much their technologies are being used, because they fear people might hack it, people might take advantage of it. But if you ask, to me, I would imagine if you ask the average Estonian, they would say that that's not the case. In fact, it gives more power to the people, because now people can be able to watch each other and watch the government, how the government uses the technology, because it's all out there. It's all open. There's no hiding. There's a lot of transparency within the country because of technology, because it's digital, because people can get access to it. So the country, there's plenty of transparency. So the people get more power. So if they see something wrong with it, people can voice their opinions through digital and expect the government to make the necessary changes to meet its citizens' demands. If you like this video or any of my videos, please consider hitting like, subscribe, or share this story. Also, you can check me out on my social media websites. They'll be posted down below. And I want to hear from anybody who's been to Estonia or any Estonians how technology has affected them. How has it helped them? Is it a good thing that your country's involved with so much technology? I want to hear below. So hit me up and I'll respond to all that posts. Anyway, I'll be seeing y'all later, and remember, always be epic, be legendary, and I'll see you next time.